Hey Charger Chefs, here's another recipe from Mrs. Roth. I have some Texas tarragon here, and it has these long leaves similar to the French tarragon, but it can survive growing in Houston with our heat and our humidity, whereas a French tarragon would be toast. So this is an awesome herb. It's known as yerba anise. It's also known as Mexican mint marigold. It has cute little orange flowers, and you can put those in the herb butter as well. So I'll take about 2 tablespoons worth of leaves, and you want to make sure your leaves are nice and cleaned off and not dried up. So these are very fresh leaves. And then I have a stick of room temperature butter, and it's unsalted butter. You don't want to buy salted butter when you're making food. A lot of times you want to add your own salt at the end. So there's that butter, and you can tell since I have a fork, it's going straight into and through the butter, okay? Really fast to incorporate our herbs. In this one, this is going to be a sweeter type of butter. So I'm going to just kind of cut the leaves in half, then stack them, and I'm just going to very carefully make tiny cuts because we want this flavor throughout all the butter. But the leaves kind of move around, so we're just going to go through it a few times. And as you're doing this, you're going to wonder, well, whatever made Mrs. Roth think that this was a good recipe? I found this type of recipe a long time ago, and I made it at Coulter Elementary, and one of the little girls probably had 5 pieces of French bread with this butter on it, and I finally told her, ooh, you might not want to eat that much of this because it's very rich. It's more like 2 pieces of toast or 2 pieces of bread. Anyway, so fast forward about 12 years later, and that young girl is now a young woman, and she has reached out for this recipe. She loved it so much, I thought I should share it with all of y'all. So it's just about a tablespoon or 2, depending on it, your level of taste, and then also a tiny bit of powdered sugar because we just want to bring it up as a sweeter kind of butter. And I'm literally, this is a 1/4 teaspoon of powdered sugar. And again, I'm adding just a tiny bit of salt. Oops, that's too much. So it's a good thing I put it in my hand. All right, so there's a pinch of salt. And now we're going to take my dusty fingers. We're going to take the rind or the zest off of this blood orange, okay? And you see how it comes off? It's very finely grated. It's going to go through the butter really well. And I just do it straight over here, the bowl. Oh, it smells so good, y'all. We're going to be making all kinds of butters once we're back in class. But for now, you could try making some of these things at home. And we have identified lots of the herbs in the garden, so you can go by school and check it out. So some of these things you just have to go on one side. And I'll lift it up so you can see it a little bit easier. And I really wish you could smell this. It smells amazing. If you wanted to make it really fancy, you could put it into butter molds or chocolate molds and put it in the refrigerator, and then just kind of put it out on a plate at some point. But for my family, we just usually put it in a little round bowl and let it go into the refrigerator covered for about a day, just to make sure all the flavors can get throughout the butter. Okay, so there you go. Make it sort of flat, and that's it. Kind of screwed that one up.